North Carolina. You are on the air with Congressman Pocan.
Hi, good morning, both of you. So, well, first of all, if you have some time, if you would take a look at something that I wrote, it's at B as in boy, R as in Robert, V as in Victor, E as in Edward, .us. It's the Bill of Rights for Voting Equality, and it includes some of the stuff you were just talking about. But my question is, when can things be changed regarding how the body, the Congress body or the Senate body, how they operate? I would like to see bills taken in the order that they are written, not based on who's in the majority. I feel, and I would like to see some time limits on some of these things. I feel like things just get out of hand and go on and on and on forever, and there's not a lot of work getting done for the money that people are being paid.
Yeah, I hear you, Marcia. I think it's unlikely that you'd see something where it's just as bills are written, that's how they're taken up, just because, I've been doing this for 20-plus years, and it doesn't really work that way, because sometimes things come up, or crises or other things that wouldn't happen. Having said that, there is something called regular order that Paul Ryan seems to be able to physically say but not do, which is where you actually have a process where members, through committee processes, vote on bills and send them to the floor, and actually you can have a wider spectrum of issues debated and taken up. We don't do that right now because the Tea Party holds their caucus hostage. The defense hawks lately in their caucus have caused problems, and they have a completely dysfunctional body that's run by Paul Ryan, who has decided that he's the puppy dog for the president rather than the Speaker of the House of Representatives. So the problem is we have a failed leadership and a failed system by who's in charge right now. The best way we change that is changing the faces of those who represent us.
Yeah, it's the election, stupid. Yep. Alex in Edison, New Jersey. You are on the air with Congressman Pocan.
Hello, Tom. Hello, Congressman.
Hello, Alex.
Alex.
I am profoundly disappointed in the Democratic Party. With the bill to keep the government running, and with the some Republicans perpetually and eternally refusing to ever vote for such a bill, as the Republican-led government needs Democratic votes. This gives the Democratic Party leverage in the negotiation for that bill. And I think the cost for Democratic votes should be Democratic principles. They should demand net neutrality or DACA or the restoration of SNAP and CHIP, whatever. And don't do it like Barack Obama. Don't pre-negotiate your position. Surely the party in power would be blamed for the shutdown, but I don't know that for a fact. So why aren't Pelosi and Schumer making such demands of the Republicans? But more to the point is this. How can I trust the Democratic Party to fight without leverage if they're not going to fight with leverage? I'll take my question off. And again, big fan, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. This raises another question, too, Congressman, and that is, do the Democrats actually have any leverage? I get it in the Senate, if the Republicans want to pass something without using reconciliation, that, the filibuster can be used. But in the House, I don't see where you guys have any leverage at all.
Well, and that's where my point was. I mean, right now, they can pass anything without us. They just did it with the tax bill.
They're doing it as we speak, yeah.
Yeah, so if they could just control their crazier wing, the Tea Party wing of their caucus, which they can sometimes by giving them red meat, which we would really hate, they can do it completely without us, except for in the Senate, where you have that rule and you've got a little more leverage. However, a lot of us have been advocating this. I think DACA is the one that we've been promoting to say, look, we shouldn't vote for anything, a continuing resolution, unless they give us that. The last one, I think it was in September, we were able to hold back a lot of other bad things from moving ahead because we had this just few months process before they would need our votes again. So there was a little bit of leverage in that, but I do agree that we could get more if they decide they need our votes, but they just proved it with the tax bill that they don't always need our votes. And you're right, Tom, in the House especially, they don't necessarily need our votes, so we've got a little less leverage than maybe the Senate does.
Yeah. Kathy in Crystal Lake, Illinois. Hey, Kathy, you're on the air with Congressman Pocan.
Hi, Tom, Congressman. Very happy to speak with you. My concern has been the fact that the Republicans have been able to ramrod this tax scam without any bipartisanship, with it being wildly unpopular. And I'm just wondering, I worry about the elections next year because apparently they're going to get really drunk with their own sense of power. And that's frightening, man. I don't know at this point. I don't trust anything the administration does or says. We could have a terrorist attack that could be manufactured by them, and all of a sudden we have to call up the elections because of suspending certain rights. Has that ever popped into your mind in terms of that being a possibility?
Well, we know they always go back to fear when they need to try to coalesce. I am a silver lining person, Kathy, and I'm looking at where the public support for this tax bill is. It's in the tank. I'm looking at where the president's approval is. It's in the tank. I think, again, people are smarter than the Republicans think they are. What we need to do is make sure we keep people motivated enough to come out and vote. And as we saw in Alabama, Democrats did come out at a much higher percent than Republicans. A lot of Republicans are turned off by this. Yes, they still have their 30-35% base no matter what. But I am optimistic that we can galvanize those who want to see our country do well, who don't like the direction, and still move forward. So, yes, there's always an opportunity for them to put fear out there and try to, have something to scare people into doing what they want. Right now, I think we're winning, and we just have to keep rolling on that.
Congressman, the last 20 seconds, what should we be looking for in the coming weeks?
I think we'll get through this continuing resolution. We'll have the holidays, and going back into January, let's hope we come back, taking off the gloves, swinging, and, I'm hopeful that, again, we can kind of build on the momentum. People are not happy with the direction the Republicans are taking us.
Yeah, that certainly seems to be the case.